Do you know my favorite line in the Temptations movie?
I want to hear this.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Meaning, no one's coming down from on high to save you.
Right.
No one's coming to fix your situation for you. That's why people look at you and they laugh at you. They know they can hype you up and get you caught up on things, right? You had a woman who got appointed to be the Democratic nominee. You had a woman who did not run for president. She was appointed the Democratic nominee. Not only that, y'all can sit up here and say you really wanted a woman president, but I call bullshit. And the reason I call bullshit, because unlike you, I actually donated to her when she was running. She didn't make it to Iowa. She dropped out. And you know what she said the main reason why she dropped out was? She didn't get enough financial support from the electorate. So if you wanted one, since we're all big on ski, wee, perm, and symbolism, then explain to me why you didn't put no money behind her the first time. Then, you so concerned about policies? You concerned about the environment? Then why did you let her go 40 days without putting up policies? And then when she put up policies, they were literally copy and pasted from the Biden policies. And before you said she didn't have enough time to do that, the day after, the Monday morning after Joe Biden said at 1:45 p.m. in the afternoon that he was not going to seek re-election, they turned JoeBiden.com and the KamalaHarris.com, had the merch ready to go, everything from t-shirts to sweatshirts to cups to koozies, but you didn't have enough time for a policy you were just going to copy and paste 40 days later? Then you didn't let her take any interviews. So where was your concern then? Oh,
Welcome back to the channel. It's your man Wise. We got to check this out right here, man. Dave, the business bully, he cooks. He cooks the Democrats. He cooks Kamala Harris. He cooks the support that the Democrats have been, receiving from the black community. You guys got to hear this, man. He says everything that needs to be said. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep going.
because you liked her. Because again, we want equity. We don't want equality. You don't care unless somebody tells you to care. Just like every February, you'll sit up here and talk about Trayvon and not mention him again. Every August, you'll talk about Mike Brown and not mention him again. Did Tariq, hold on. Middle age is kicking in. Did Tamir Rice's mom get a dime from Black Lives Matter? Did she?
No.
No. The answer is no. Did George Floyd's family get a dime from Black Lives Matter? The answer is no. But when people tried to tell you it was a grift and a hustle, and they told you that their main thing was to dismantle the patriarchy and put people from the Rainbow Mafia in positions of power, but oh, we got some murals in the streets. You only care when they tell you to. You don't care bad enough to do anything about it. You're like a dog on a porch. All you do is moan and groan. You ain't gonna get up off that porch.
I like that. You only care when they tell you to care.
That's the only.
Is he lying? In the comment section, answer me. Is he lying? And he's talking about black folks, but you could actually say this about a plethora of Americans out there. You only care when they tell you to care. Those of us that have started to do the research for ourselves, those of us that, have had the hood, pulled from over our eyes, the blinders pulled off, we understand the grift. We understand what these people are about. The sooner people get an understanding of who these people are for real, the sooner that happens, the better off you'll be. The better off we'll be, the better off this country will be. This dude's, man, he's cooking, man.
Time you're outraged. Explain to me.
Selective outrage.
It's very selective, and it's always been selective Negro outrage. It's always been that way. And if you think I'm lying, stop me. Time to go to work, make the block bump. Boys in the hood call me Black Donald Trump. So Donald Trump was such a... Okay. Do you consider Mike Tyson an idiot?
I actually don't.
Do you consider Magic Johnson an idiot?
Not at all.
Okay.
Because I'd agree with what they do, but I can't say intellectual. I think they're very brilliant.
Okay, so because Magic Johnson is the reason that Starbucks is a multi-billion-dollar global corporation, because when the guy who created Starbucks had it, he then bought Magic out of the shares that Magic had, because Magic's way of doing it was better. Magic Johnson is the only franchisee in TGI Fridays history to have his name on TGI Fridays. It says Magic Johnson's TGI Fridays. That don't happen no place else, right? You mean to tell me that Magic Johnson is so smart to do all that, but he's so dumb he's going to hang out with a racist? Was Oprah dumb when she was hanging out with that racist? Was Whoopi Goldberg dumb when she was hanging out with that racist? So when did he become a racist? When they told you he was. Was he a racist? And was he a problem for Hillary Clinton when he stood up at Chelsea Clinton's wedding? When he was golfing with Bill Clinton for years? Make it make sense. Oh, and again, this is not me advocating for Donald Trump, but I need to give you an example that you cannot argue. People are upset because Donald Trump's a racist because he took out an $85,000 ad in the newspapers against the Exonerated Five, formerly known as the Central Park Five, right? That's a problem. That's problematic because he said they needed to get the death penalty. You know what everybody leaves out of that conversation? Two things. The first is all we had was the information that was being presented to us on the news
at the time.
And at the time, all that information said that we got them. We got these kids. They ain't say nothing about rounding them up or how they rounded them up or this, that, and the third. They sat up there and they present. Go look at forget me. Go look at Ava DuVernay's Netflix movie. Go look at all the documentaries made about these guys. Now, here's the gag. At the time when Donald Trump did that, he was a registered Democrat. Not only that, he was a private citizen. Not only that, the district attorney, the assistant district attorney, the chief of police, the mayor, all of them happen to be Democrats. But that
Absolutely. That's what they don't want to tell you. Ed Koch, he was the mayor at that time, Democrat. Linda Feinstein, DA, Democrat. Chief of police, district attorney for New York, Robert Morgenthau, Democrat. Mario Cuomo, he was the governor at that time, Democrat. These people are playing in your face, man. They've been lying to you for decades, and people still are believing the lies hook, line, and sinker, man. This dude is cooking. People need to wake the heck up, man.
That didn't stop anybody from dealing with the fact that they paraded them brothers up on that stage at the DNC in 2024 like, oh, Donald Trump's the problem. Oh, but I didn't hear any of them issue an apology for what they did to railroad those boys for a decade and some change. How does that make sense? So again, when you're told that Orange Man is bad, but you're not told that all these blue people who sat up there, who set these black and brown, because there were black people and brown people in that Central Park Five. That's the only way I'm using that term, because I'm black people first. Everybody else holds your own nuts. But black and brown, when it comes to these five boys, you have no smoke for them. Matter of fact, one of the assistant prosecutor is still a huge donator, a huge donor to the Democratic National Convention. Democratic National Committee. So I'm trying to understand how that makes sense. And then, by the way, where's all your smoke for these corporations that were buying $1 million suites at the DNC? You care about black life so much. Why were you okay with them having abortion mobiles a block away from the Democratic National Convention? If we're going to talk about preserving life, if we're going to talk about racism, we're going to talk about systemic things, you have to talk about it regardless of who you like or who has the best PR or who says the things you don't like. That's my issue. Y'all know for a fact Joe Biden was a racist, always been a racist. And the only reason he was vice president under Obama is because they wanted to balance the ticket. So if you put a Negro in there, let's make sure we put somebody who was mentored by Strom Thurmond, who eulogized Robert Byrd, who was an exalted Cyclops in the Klan. Oh, you mean the guy who said that Barack Obama was a, what was the word? Oh, the first mainstream, clean, articulate black person? Excuse me? That was okay? Oh, you can't get a Dunkin' Donut unless you got a little Indian in you. He said that. You're okay with that. You're okay with Hillary Clinton being a Goldwater girl, who was a card-carrying racist and segregationist, who also said, we need to bring them to heel. Them meaning you and me, because we were teenagers at the time when she said that, and she was the first lady. So is racism a problem, or is racism with the right amount of PR a problem? And the wrong type of PR not a problem? I'm trying to understand, when are you not activated? When is it just, hey, this is wrong and it needs to be wrong? Oh, but he apologized for it. Yeah, but his apology don't do nothing for the 30 plus years of uh, racist policies that have affected us. But then again, when you got somebody creating a First Step Act, getting these people out for nonviolent drug offenses, you got Kim Kardashian. And I can't stand Kim Kardashian neither. You got her advocating for more black people than I see black people are advocating for black people. Not making a bunch of noise on the Senate floor. Not pontificating on somebody's podcast. Literally taking their time, money, energy, and efforts and putting it out there. So I'm trying to understand, when is it enough that we hold everybody accountable, not the people they just tell you to like?
Goodness gracious, man. Shout out to Dave Anderson, man, the business bully. Every time I see him speak, every time I see him on an interview, doing an interview, man, I mean, this dude, he just cooks, man. Every time. Wow. This is what needs to be heard. It's those types of conversations. Those are the conversations that needs to be heard. Stop listening to these Democrat shills, the roly-polies, the Angela Ryes of the world, those fools from the Native Land podcast and the Breakfast Club, and there's the list goes on and on and on, because they're not telling you the truth. They're paid ops. They're paid to keep you right where you are, which is on the Democratic plantation. And if you've noticed, anytime anybody defects, they do everything that they can to make sure that they pull that person right back on to the plantation. That right there in itself should tell you everything that you need to know. Everything about who these Democrats are. I know we're past the election, but I am frustrated that with all the information that's out there, that 80% of black men still supported Kamala Harris. And another 92, 93% of black women still supported Kamala Harris and these Democrats. Please take the time to do the research and get an understanding of who these people are. All skin folk ain't kin folk. And just because they put a black face in your face don't necessarily mean that they got your best interests at heart. Wake the heck up, man. And he's absolutely right. You got folks out here still looking for equity instead of equality. Our forefathers fought for equality, not equity. They fought for the opportunities that exist here in the United States of America that we all have. We are not victims. You are not oppressed. The opportunities in this country are boundless if you're willing to take advantage of the opportunities. And as a man, think of so is he. So as long as you believe the lies from the Democrat Party, they are and will be truth to you. But you have to break away from that. You have to break away from it. Man, shout out to Dave, man. Shout out to Dave, man. He was cooking. This was freaking phenomenal. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. Drop me a comment. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. If you'd like to support the channel financially, consider buying your man a coffee. Link in the description box below, or join the ARP family. Super chat, super thanks. They are welcome. What else I got? Cash apps in the description box as well. I appreciate you guys that support the channel. You know, we're fighting an uphill battle, black, conservative. We're fighting an uphill battle here. So I appreciate you guys supporting. Keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp.